Friends, so I was with the topic of challenge to and restoration of Congress system, and which I told you what type of challenges Ms. Indira Gandhi was facing. Then contest of elections. Now today the topic is fourth general election 1967. Fourth general election 1967. So earlier I complete the topic of from Shastri to Mrs. Indira Gandhi. Then now fourth general election. The year 1967 is considered a landmark year in India's political and electoral history. In chapter 2, we have read about how the Congress party was dominant political force throughout the country from 1952 onwards. 1952 के बाद कांग्रेस पार्टी जो थी एक डोमिनेंट पार्टी थी. This trend was to undergo significant changes with 1967 election. Right. So 1950s ke baad, you can say that after the partition 1947, in 1947 onwards, Congress party was a dominant party. And 1970s onwards, now only 2014, in 2014, when Prime Minister Modi came as a from Bharatiya Janata Party, the domination decreased. Now, so contest of elections. In the years leading up to the fourth general election, the country witnessed major changes. Underline kar lena is baat ko. Country witnessed major changes. Two prime ministers had died in quick succession. Do prime minister died in quick succession, and the new prime minister, who was being seen as a political novice, had been in office for less than a year. You will recall from the discussion in chapter 3 and the previous section of the chapter, the period was fraught with grave economic crisis. ये जो 1960s का वक्त था ना, this part, this decade, 1960 onwards, one decade is equal to 10 years. So this 60s, we have to face a lot of problem. Of grave, the problem was grave economic crisis. Grave economic crisis from the successive failure of monsoons, widespread drought, decline in agriculture, production, right? Agriculture production, serious food shortage, depletion of foreign exchange में भारी कमी हो गई, reserves, drop in industrial production and exports, combined with the sharp rise in military expenditure and division of resources from planning and economic development. See how many difficulties, grave difficulties due to the grave economic scenario, grave economic difficulties we have to crisis, economic crisis we are facing. First, it was failure of monsoon. You know, India is depending on monsoon. Still, India is depending on monsoon. Agrarian country, but still we are depending on monsoon. Then widespread drought, सूखा पड़ गया. जब बारिश नहीं हुई तो सूखा ही पड़ेगा, सूखा पड़ गया. अब इससे क्या हुआ? सूखा पड़ने से क्या हुआ? Agriculture production में भारी कमी आ गई. When agriculture production was reduced, what happened now? Next to next, देखते चलिए. Just listen. Serious food shortages. खाने पीने के चीजों में, incoming of food shortages, उनमें कमी आ गई. Depreciation of foreign exchange. हम food पहले हम food को export भी करते थे. जब हम उसको एक्सपोर्ट नहीं कर पाए तब हमारे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज में कमी आ गई, right? Foreign exchange reserve, drop in industrial production also, and export combined with a sharp rise in military expenditure and diversion of resources from planning and economic development. One of the first decisions of Mrs. Indira Gandhi government was to devaluate the Indian rupee. Indian rupee को devaluate कर दिया गया under what seemed to be pressure from the US. यूएस ने हमारे ऊपर प्रेशर डाला था कि आप अपने पैसों रुपए को डिवैल्यूएट कर दो. Earlier, $1 would be purchased for less than ₹5. Now, devaluation cost was now ₹7. अब पहले ₹5 मिलते थे $1 के ऊपर. उस वक्त की बात कर, 1967 की बात कर. No, I'm not telling you now. तो in 1967 के अंदर डॉलर की कीमत होती थी ₹5. $1 equals to ₹5. Now in that time, after devaluation, ₹7 हो गया. The economic situation triggered of price rise. People started protesting against increase in prices of essential commodities. Essential commodities के जो prices थे बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ गए. People started protesting against the increase in prices of growing commodities, and it was growing unemployment also, food scarcity also, and overall economic condition in the country. Bands and hartal were called frequently across the country. Band, Bharat Band, Ye Band, or Desh Band, State Band, Transportation Band. So these are all very frequently, hartal was frequently across the country. तो ये सब जो चीजें हैं ना, इससे क्या हुआ, मल्टीपल हो गया हमारी प्रॉब्लम मल्टीपल हो गई. एक तो प्रॉब्लम फेस ही कर रहे थे, उसके साथ कई और प्रॉब्लम्स लगनी शुरू हो गई. Right. The government saw the protest as law and order problem and not the expression of people's problem. तो गवर्नमेंट क्या देख रही थी, protest a law and other problem and not as the expression of people's problem. ये जब government Mrs. Indira Gandhi's government was thinking that it was a protest was the problem was not against the government, it was the people's thinking, right? So the government saw the protest as a law and order problem. ये law and order की problem है. वो ये नहीं सोचते थे कि इसमें लोग involved हैं. Protest is a expression. Protest, what is the protest? It's the expression. अब गवर्नमेंट ये नहीं सोचे, वो कहते लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का प्रॉब्लम है, लोगों की प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ये. बट इट वाज प्रॉब्लम ऑफ पीपल, आम जनता, and not the expression of people a problem. This further increased public bitterness. इससे क्या, public bitterness और भी बढ़ गई and reinforced popular unrest. और ज्यादा भी लोगों में एक उतावलापन आ गया. लोग बहुत बेचैन से रहने लगे क्योंकि प्रॉब्लम दिन ब दिन बढ़ते जा रहे थे. इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम वाज अ बिग कमिंग अप एज अ बिग क्राइसिस, और इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम के साथ बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम जुड़ी हुई थी. अब गवर्नमेंट उसको मान नहीं रही थी. गवर्नमेंट ये सोच रही थी कि लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का प्रॉब्लम है. तो ये पीपल आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड विद द गवर्नमेंट डोंट वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड इट. लोग अपनी गवर्नमेंट से खुश नहीं थे. गवर्नमेंट, इंदिरा गांधी गवर्नमेंट ये समझ नहीं पा रही थी. The communist and socialist parties launched struggle for greater equality. इधर से कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी, इधर से सोशलिस्ट पार्टी. कम्युनिस्ट और सोशलिस्ट इन्होंने एक और प्रॉब्लम खड़ी कर दी. वो कहने लगे कि देयर शुड बी स्ट्रगल. स्ट्रगल मतलब एक लड़ाई होनी चाहिए. किसके लिए? For greater equality. Greater equality के लिए. You will read in next chapter about how a group of communists who separated from the Communist Party of India to form a Communist Party of India, Marxist-Leninists, led armed agrarian struggle and organized peasant agitation. अब कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी और सोशलिस्ट पार्टी ने क्या किया आग में घी का काम कर दिया। उन्होंने क्या किया, लोगों को, जो किसान लोग थे, पेजेंट्स थे, छोटे किसान लोग थे, मजदूर थे, उनको गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट बोलना शुरू कर दिया। उनमें मार्क्सिस्ट थे, लेनिन थे। मार्क्स मतलब कार्ल मार्क्स के लोगों को सिद्धांतों को मानने वाले, लेनिन जो लेनिन के सिद्धांतों को मानते थे। Then they started agitation agitation against government by the peasants and farmers. By the peasants, agitation. Peasants भी आ गए इसमें, किसान आ गए, बड़े किसान, छोटे किसान, सभी उसमें आ गए. This period also witnessed some of the worst Hindu-Muslim riots since independence. Hindu-Muslim riot शुरू हो गया. अब देखिए कितने, एक प्रॉब्लम से कितनी प्रॉब्लम आपके सामने खड़ी हो गई. प्रॉब्लम क्या थी? इकोनॉमिक प्रॉब्लम. और उससे क्या हुआ? कई प्रॉब्लम, देयर वर लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स just coming up one by one, and last problem, it was a grave problem that was started by Marxism, the people who believe in Marxism and Leninism, or communist and socialist. So then non-Congressism. Before this, I want to have an election in Rajasthan village. A small story, maybe in a box, that is election in a Rajasthan village. Let's go for, before Congressism. Let's go for this. This is a story about 1967 assembly election. In the Chomu constituency, Chomu is a city name, or you can say the name of a constituency. Chomu, as you have got a Canal constituency, Panipat constituency. So Chomu was a constituency in Rajasthan. The main parties in the fray were Congress and Swatantra Party. दो पार्टी मैदान में थी चोमू कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी के अंदर, एक तो था कांग्रेस और दूसरी थी स्वतंत्रता पार्टी. बट विलेज देवीसार, उस चोमू में एक विलेज है देवीसार, but village Devisa had its own local political dynamics, and it got mixed with the competition between the two parties of Sheh Singh, traditionally dominant village politics, but gradually his nephew Bhim Singh was emerging as a more popular leader and rival. Right. Now, though both were Rajput, Bhim Singh cultivated the support of many non-Rajput the village by attending to their requirements after becoming the Panchayat Pradhan. So he struck a new equation, the alliance of Rajput and non-Rajputs. Now, आपको पता ही है, we all used to have a coalition with other castes and other people. Now, after some time, you will find the same happening in UP also. Many people, many Vidhayak, they are going to leave. Many Vidhayak, they used to go to join. They will join one party or another. Right. So he proved to be more adept in building alliance across the village by supporting candidates in other villages for the post of village pradhan. अब एक ब्रजेश प्रधान की सीट के अगेंस्ट चुनाव लड़ रहा था. In other village for the post of village pradhan, in fact, he took an initiative and took a delegation to the state chief minister and Congress leader Mohanlal Sukhadia for pressing the name of one of his friends from nearby village as Congress candidate in assembly election. When Sukhadia convinced him of some other name, Bhim Singh in turn convinced many others that they would work for the party candidate. Bhim Singh knew that if party candidate won from his constituency, that candidate would become a minister, and thus he would have direct contacts with the minister for the first time. Sheh Singh had no option but to work for Swatantra candidate who was a Jagirdar. He kept telling people that the Jagirdar would help build the village and school, and use the resources for the development of the locality. Now, that's why village pradhan election in everywhere, हमारी डेमोक्रेसी कहाँ से शुरू होती है? गांव से शुरू होती है. गांव के अंदर जितने भी विलेज है, जो हमारे शहर देश के अंदर जितने विलेजेस हैं, now they have lot of importance. Our government wants to develop from grassroots. That's why village pradhan election is very important. So now again in UP there will be election. Many people will leave their own party, will join another party. So you see, yesterday also have happened. Some Maurya was there. He left BJP and joined some. Maybe he is going to join SP Samajwadi Party. Let's see what happens. Now Congressism. This situation could not have remained isolated from one party politics in the country. Opposition parties were in the forefront of organizing public protests and pursuing the government. Parties opposed to the Congress realized that the develop of their votes kept the Congress in power. The division of their votes kept the Congress in power. Sorry, division of votes. You have heard one sentence, divide and rule policy. Many top leaders from various other parties, they believed that Congress party always work on divide and rule policy. जितनी बार उनके दूसरी पार्टीज ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज डिवाइड होंगी, कांग्रेस पार्टी उतनी ज्यादा ही मजबूत होगी. लॉर्ड कर्जन, बंगाल, he gave a slogan, divide and rule to the Britishers. बंगाल को डिवाइड करो, बंगाल पे रूल करो. भारत को डिवाइड करो, भारत के ऊपर रूल करो. किसी देश को डिवाइड करो, उनके ऊपर रूल करो. जब तक वो डिवाइडेड है, you can continue with your own rule and regulation. Thus parties, Congress in power, thus parties that were entirely different and desperate in their programs and ideology got together to form an anti-Congress front in some states and entered into electoral adjustment of sharing steps in sharing seats in others. So, लोगों को पता लग गया, दूसरे पार्टीज को पता लग गया कि बेसिकली कांग्रेस पार्टी को यदि आपने तोड़ना है तो you have to be united. Opposition has to be united. If they are divided, then Congress party will also get stronger. They felt that the inexperience of Indira Gandhi and the internal factionalism within the Congress provided them an opportunity to topple the Congress. Means they felt, उन्होंने सोचा, उन्होंने जाना that in inexperience of Indira Gandhi, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was at that time was inexperienced. बहुत ज़्यादा उनमें प्राइम मिनिस्टरशिप की काबिलियत नहीं थी. वो सोच रहे थे ऐसा. And the internal factionalism within the Congress provided. और कांग्रेस के अंदर जितनी गुटबाजी है, कांग्रेस के अंदर सब कोई नेता बनना चाहते हैं. हर कोई कांग्रेस के अंदर उस वक्त में many people, many candidates, they want to be the prime minister. So we call it factionalism in Congress, provided them an opportunity to topple the Congress. ये जो चीजें है ना, in excess of your wish, in excess of your demand, that you want to be the Congress leader of the Congress party. The socialist leader Ram Manohar Lohia is a very prominent name these days. Ram Manohar Lohia gave the strategy that the name of non-Congressism. He also produced a theoretical argument in defense. Congress rule was undemocratic. So Ram Manohar Lohia ने कहा कि कांग्रेस रूल जो है अनडेमोक्रेटिक है, ये क्या करती है, लोगों को तोड़ती है और हमारे ऊपर दे आर रूलिंग ऑन अस. So they have Congress is having inexperienced leader. They are unable to control the situation, but still the Congress is very strong. Why so? Because Congress was not divided up to that time. Congress used to divide the other people. That's why Congress was very strong. Divide and rule policy, what they were doing it. So Ram Manohar Lohia said that we should know the weak points of the Congress, and all the opposition parties should get united. When they will be able to know the weakness of the Congress, and they will encash this weak point, and when they will be united, then automatically Congress will be not able to come into the power again. Why? Because at that time, many people used to think, many party leaders, various party leaders used to think that the Congress is non-democratic, opposed to the interests of ordinary people, and they used to oppose the ordinary people. Therefore, the coming together of non-Congress parties was necessary. So therefore, coming together of non-Congress parties was necessary for the reclaiming democracy for the people. So basically, coming together is very necessary. Who's coming together? Parties coming together. Parties gaining power is very necessary. How can they can gain the power if they are united? So unity is very much important in the non-Congress party. Okay. Now, who was Ram Manohar Lohia? This is very important. 1910 में इनका जन्म हुआ था. 1967 में इनकी डेथ हुई थी. He was a socialist leader, a thinker, freedom fighter, and among the founders of the Congress Socialist Party. He founded Congress Socialist Party. He was a freedom fighter also. Ram Manohar Lohia was not a very prominent person up to when the Congress was there. Now these days, many Ram Manohar Lohia name is very frequent. Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital, RMS Hospital, RMS University going to be, and many other project work is going on. So Ram Manohar Lohia, he was a freedom fighter. After the split in the present party, the leader of the Socialist Party and later the Samayukta Socialist Party, member of Lok Sabha 1963 to 67, he was the founder editor of Mankind, known for original contribution for non-European socialist theory. As political leader, best known for sharp attacks on Nehru. Ram Manohar Lohia was a sharp attacker on Nehru. He didn't like Nehru, his theory, his philosophy. Strategy of non-Congressism. What was the strategy of non-Congressism? So Ram Manohar Lohia didn't like it. Advocacy of reservation for backward caste and opposition to English. He was against the English language because Congress people, they introduced English in India because they themselves, they liked English, that's why. And advocacy of reservation. He always advocated reservation policy of India for backward class, backward caste and opposition to English. So this was the small introductory part of Ram Manohar Lohia. And now electoral verdict. Verdict, what was electoral? It was in this context of heightened popular discontent and the polarization of political forces that the fourth general election to the Lok Sabha and state assemblies were held in February 1967. फरवरी के 1967 में लोकसभा के जनरल इलेक्शन हुए. Understood? So the Congress was facing the electorate for the first time without Nehru. This sentence is very important. Now Nehru was dead, right? So when Nehru was dead, there was a vacuum in the Congress party. Vacuum, खालीपन आ गया था इसमें Congress party. Now, the present Congress scenario was the leader, they used to think that Mrs. Indira Gandhi is inexperienced. This is a good sign for them. They used to think that Congress is always working on the platform of divide and rule policy given by the Britishers, especially Lord Curzon during the time of Bengal division. Understood? So नेहरू के बिना वो पहली बार चुनाव के मैदान में उतरे. The results jolted the Congress at the both national and state level. अब जो results आए 1967 की, इन्होंने, it happened that it was a jolt for them. बहुत बड़ा झटका था. Jolt means झटका. Jolt for them whom? Jolt for the Congress party. Many contemporary political observers described the election result as a political earthquake. It could be a question. Explain the political earthquake during 1967 elections. It was a political earthquake. The Congress did manage to get a majority. ऐसा नहीं कि कांग्रेस को मेजॉरिटी नहीं मिली. Majority in Lok Sabha, but with lowest tally of seat and share of votes since 1952. लेकिन वो जो votes थे 1952 के बाद सबसे कम votes थे. Less vote they got, less share of vote they got. After 1952, without the help of Nehru, without the personality, without the the best personality at that time was Nehru in Congress. So he died. So without Nehru, Congress had a jolt, and obviously they got the majority, but that majority was not, limelighted majority. But with its lowest tally of seats and share of vote since 1952, half of the ministers in Indira Gandhi cabinet were defeated. Ministers were defeated. Whose ministers? Cabinet ministers. Whose cabinet minister? Mrs. Indira Gandhi's cabinet minister. The political stalls who lost their constituency included Kamraj, Tamil Nadu, S.K. Patil, Maharashtra, Atulya Ghosh, West Bengal, K.B. Sahe, and Bihar. They were Diggaj Neta. They lost their election. Again, K.B. Sahe from Bihar, Atulya Ghosh in West Bengal, Kamraj in Tamil Nadu, S.K. Patil in Maharashtra, they lost their votes. Okay, so this was, here I come to an end of today's lecture. This in next video, right? Do revise the chapter. It's a very important challenges to the restoration of the Congress system. क्या challenge कांग्रेस के पास, ताकि वो कांग्रेस की पार्टी को दोबारा रेस्टोर कर सके. ठीक है? So revise the topic, revise the again what we have done. Again in next video. Till then, take care and have a nice time. Thank you.